Hey guys, round 13 is upon us. Let's see the agenda for today. We have the ups and downs of round 12, our team results, the coach of the week, and we end with our team formation. Let's see the credit bank.
So let's have a look on what happened last week and what were the highlights in terms of credit and players who overperform or underperform. So starting with the guard position, we have Francisco being the highlight here with 16.6 credits. He's the most expensive now guard, but still is a price to pay if you want this explosiveness that the 37 fantasy points gave last week. So even though he's expensive, he's still a great pick. On the other hand, we have Robinson having an explosive game when he managed to have 7 out of 10 3-pointers. He had a couple of ups and downs till now, but is still a very solid selection with 12.8, and as we mentioned before, him and Hifi really drive the offense for Paris. And then we would mention on the list of the overperformance the Sterling Brown. He has a couple of good games lately. You can see 26 fantasy points, the PAR, and he's 11.4 credits, so not too expensive, still above 10, but a good option. And then, of course, you always have in the very expensive options None with 15.5. It tends though to see whether he keeps on having these consecutive good games or not, so we just keep an eye on that. On the other hand, when we look in the underperformance, it's now a good time to pick up Herrera after a bad game, just 5.1 credits. So if you're searching for a filler of your team, this became now even cheaper, but nothing else major we will look here. Now moving on to forward position, we have Lyles from Real Madrid increasing his credits by 0.4, so evaluation of 14 credits now. He's still getting the minutes and he's still the main force in scoring for Real, so it's still a great option, and probably the only option above 10 that you can see last week had a good game. We have Osmani, of course, being an absolute gem below the 10 credits. But on the other hand, as you can see, every big name is on the underperformance list. Now, even though every big name is there, still we don't see any opportunity here. Maybe is keeping an eye on Vencekov and see whether he bounced back. He had 2 games that they were a bit off for his calibre, not very consistent with his shooting, but he had an okay or good, let's say, domestic game, so it turns out to see whether it will be a good time to pick him or not. Now it's a discount of 0.5, but we will be reluctant to pick him now, maybe wait one more game to see how it turns out. But nothing else. We will focus now on this list. Worth mentioning, Mike is having a great year till now, but he had an off game. He's still a good option below the 10 credits. Moving into center position, on the overperformance, there is no other than Farida's amazing option below 11 credits, 3 games or above 20 fantasy points, so great value there. Then we can see second on the list is Tavares with 15.1 credits, but with 16 credits you can get Milutinov, and we would prefer Milutinov over Tavares for mainly due to the consistency showing this year. And then if you see at the bottom of this list, we have Diouf, a very solid option, as we mentioned also on last week. So for below 8 credits, very solid selection. On the other hand, on the underperformance, we have Dice. He's not having great fantasy games lately, but we still believe it's a bit expensive for the risk you have to select him. So we will again abstain from getting him and just keep an eye on him. And with that, let's move on and see how we did last week.
And as you see, we managed to get 158.05 fantasy points and just 0.6 credits we gained. So overall, not the best round for us. But as you see, the duo that we have at the moment for the center position with Milutinov and Farid, it's our main strength, let's say. So we don't think that we'll make any change for these two players. But moving on the forward position, we see Osmani. Osmani is back in the good games with 15 plus fantasy points. He managed to have 20.9, a solid game from Osmani. Lobavu, he usually gets more, so 13.2 fantasy points. It's not bad, but it's, let's say, almost in the middle. Then we have Vezenkov with 6.6 fantasy points. To be honest, he's not in form lately, so the last 3 or 4 games he's not at the usual, let's say, standards that we expect from Vezenkov. But keep in mind, in any moment he can get on fire and just be on the 20 plus fantasy points. And ending with Samodorov, he's just a filler for the forward position. And at the guard, we have Bryant. What a season for Elijah Bryant from Hapoel Tel Aviv. 50.6 fantasy points as a captain. One of the good and solid choices you may have for the guard position. As Bill mentioned, also Francisco is another great option from the top shelf, let's say. Then Dorsey, 6.6 fantasy points, just in half because we put him on the bench. Not the best round for Dorsey as well. Herrera, just a bad game with minus 4.5 fantasy points. We might change him, might not. It's just a bad game, but he has in position the rotation for Paris. So we keep an eye about this. Miljanovic is just a filler for the guard, and also this round is a proof that the choice of the coach is very important, because Coach Barzokas gave us 20 fantasy points, and that gave us the boost to get to the 158.05. Bill, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think just with like two sentences, all team great. Vezenkov, Dorsey, Herrera is the reason we didn't go above the 180 mark. But let's see what we're gonna do the next week. But before we go that, coach of the week. And here we are considering Xavi Pascual in the return on the bench for Barca. Barca, they are playing at home versus Asvel. And it seems the perfect setting for a great game for Barca. And the return to the wins. They lost last week from FS in a tough close game. So this is the chance to bounce back. And we think they have the quality, and as well has also the absences due to injuries, so they really do have the upper hand. Credit wise is not an expensive option, as only 7.3 credits the valuation right now for Xavi, and most probably these will go up. And with that, let's move on to our team then.
And you see our team for round 13. This is the formation. Debut for Xavi Pascual in Barcelona's home court. Also, our debut without Sasha Vezenkov in our team. As you see, we kept Kenneth Farid and Milutinov for the center position. It was non-negotiable. We didn't even debate it about this, the position, the center position for our team. We brought Lyles instead of Vezenkov. We think Lyles is in good rhythm. He has a good form, and versus Hapoel Tel Aviv, it is an away game. However, he managed to contribute in scoring, rebounding for Real Madrid. So also, Hezonja is not in good form, so he will play a crucial role. We kept Lovavuka Baro versus Algiris. He is the main scoring option for Baskonia this season, so he will continue be that top scorer for Baskonia in a very challenging game, tough game versus Zalgiris. Then, as you see, speaking about Zalgiris, you see Francisco. He's our captain for turn one as well. You see Francisco alongside Elijah Bryant. So we wanted to bring a solid guard next to Bryant instead of Dorsey. So let's say we gave all in to have this duo for the guard position. And then, as you see, we kept Herrera. He had a bad game, yes, but with 5 less than 6 credits. Let's say we cannot find a good guard to contribute even 5 fantasy points for our team. And also we kept Osmani. We believe versus Monaco, it is a challenging game for Osmani, but he gets the time and he manages always to contribute to FS. And then, as you see, Samodurov and Miljanovic, 4 credit players, they are the fillers for this team. And also, as I mentioned, Xavi Pascual is our coach for round 13. Bill, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, so Lyles Francisco in, we were considering Petrusev as our captain and our main forward. But between Francesco and Petrusev, due to the matchups also, we ended up getting Francisco. Also, we considered Rogavopoulos to be a good option. But at the same time, we heard that there is a chance Usman returns and plays. So, but still, we think below, if I remember correctly, 7 credits is a very good option. So we are having a few options for our team with, as you can see, more than 16 credits. Brian, Francisco, and Milutinov, and Vezenkov is off. So as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna keep an eye on Vezenkov because if he explodes, we may have to get him back. And as you mentioned at the start, it's the first time we're down here without Vezenkov, I think this year, if I'm right.
Yeah.
So let's see how this goes. Of course, for any more of the options or choices for this round, you can find us on the Real Hoopers Hub website, and you can see our column there. And enjoy the games, and see you next week.
Yeah, guys, enjoy Euroleague and see you soon.